Assalamu alaikum and hi everyone. This is contemporary understanding of the Quran, and my name is Marwan Raad, and I hope you're all doing well. Today we are continuing our reading and explaining of the noble book of the Quran, and I think we reached yesterday verse number 29. I'm not sure if we read the verse 29, but I'll read it right now. I start with Arabic, as you know. هو الذي خلق لكم ما في الأرض جميعا. He it is who created for you what is in the earth altogether. It means everything you see, everything you touch, everything you feel, He created it. Who's He? God Almighty, Allah. ثم استوى إلى السماء. Then He turned to the sky, which means He kind of created the earth first, and then, or probably the sky was created, and then the earth came after, and then he let's say arrange and rearrange the sky in the sense that, like it says, the verse after, فَسَوَّاهُنَّ سَبْعَ سَمَاوَاتٍ, and fashioned 7 heavens. 7 heavens, it means probably 7 layers. There's no such 7 heavens like probably what they are promoting now in science field, that the concept of multiverse. وَهُوَ بِكُلِّ شَيْءٍ عَلِيمٍ, and He knows all things. Of course, He is all-knowing. He knows all things because He created all things, after all. Okay. Now the verse 30, I consider one of the most important verse in the Quran altogether, particularly and probably in Surah Al-Baqara, the HEIFER. Why? Because it's like a turning point God telling us about in the character of mankind, actually represented by Adam, of course, which is, I'll explain it to you in the course of reading the verses. So verse number 30 starts like this: وَإِذْ قَالَ رَبُّكَ لِلْمَلَائِكَةِ إِنِّي جَاعِلٌ فِي الْأَرْضِ خَلِيفَةً. And when thy Lord said to the angels, I am placing a successor in the earth. It means God decided to assign the mission of taking care of the order of everything on earth to mankind. Okay? To a human. Call them successor, but it's, we will see, human, and it's Adam representing the mankind. قالوا أتجعل فيها من يفسد فيها ويسفك الدماء. They said, the angels said, wilt thou place therein one who will do harm therein and shed blood? They said to their God, to their Lord, wondering, they said, well, are you going to place someone in command or in order or in charge, someone who do harm here and there, and he shed blood in the sense they kill themselves, probably they kill animals, and plus fighting all together, because in the beginning of life, in that time, of course there were no such moral issues. There was no values. There was it's like a jungle. Actually, it is a jungle. Even men in that days in those days, he used to walk on four, on not on two legs, on four, like animals. Why did they ask him? Why did they say this? Because they knew that what I talked about is happening, is there on earth, which means there are among animals, human animals. We were called actually human animals, and then when we became Homo sapien, or not necessarily Homo sapien, when we became aware of our senses, and we could have used, capacities and potentials that God gave us in His creation. So we became a little different, and this is the turning point I'm talking about. But the angels said, well, why you give this? Because they were seeing and knowing that mankind was, those men, creatures actually, were living together with animals, and animals used to kill another animal to feed themselves and feed their babies, probably, and same thing the human creatures were doing. So they were wondering. They told him why. Not why in the sense of why, because they cannot object. They just have to accept. But they told him, وَنَحْنُ نُسَبِّحُ بِحَمْدِكَ وَنُقَدِّسُ لَكَ. Tell him, you are going to assign this mission to someone who does this, and that, and when we give glory with thy praise and are holy unto thee, which means we are worshiping you, we are praising you, we are doing everything, obeying you, whatever you told us to do. Kind of they wonder why. قَالَ إِنِّي أَعْلَمُ مَا لَا تَعْلَمُونَ. God replied, He said, actually the verse is, He said, I know what you know not. He told them, well, what I know, you don't know, in the sense that He's going to show him the proof that he is worthy, this mankind, he is worthy of being the successor, although he has the other side of, of evil. Here it begins the turning point. وَعَلَّمَ آدَمَ الْأَسْمَاءَ كُلَّهَا. How will Adam, or this human creature, be in charge on earth if he has no knowledge? Knowledge of the earth, of what's on earth, what's his surroundings, and so on. So this is why وَعَلَّمَ آدَمَ الْأَسْمَاءَ كُلَّهَا, and he taught Adam the names, all of them. Now this is the puzzle, kind of, if you want. So he showed Adam all other creatures, and kind of showed him again a distinction between one creature and the other. So Adam learned to recognize every single creature, every single thing that, of course, God showed him, which means put it in front of him, like showed him the lion, showed him the cat, showed him the dog, showed him the tree, showed him, all this. ثم عرضهم على الملائكة فقال أنبئوني بأسماء هؤلاء. Okay, so he did the same. He showed them to Adam, okay, and he taught him this and this and this and this and this, and he showed them to the angels and asked the angels to guess what are these. Then presented ثم عرضهم على الملائكة فقال أنبئوني بأسماء هؤلاء. Then presented them to the angels and said, tell me the names of these. إن كنتم صادقين, if you be truthful, which means if what you're saying is kind of valid or legitimate or something, then tell me the names of these creatures. Okay? قالوا سبحانك. They said, glory be unto thee. I mean, we praise you. I mean, لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم. We have no knowledge save what thou hast taught us. Thou art the knowing, the wise. We don't know anything except what you taught us, what you showed us, what you what you wanted us to learn. So we don't know, meaning that the names you're asking us are nothing that we know about. Only you, or you, are the all-knowing and the wise. You know it all. قال يا آدم أنبئهم بأسمائهم. He said, "Oh Adam, tell thou them their names." So God asked Adam to the name of these to show the capacity and the superiority of Adam on the angel, which is a fact. God wanted us, human, to be superior to angels. Angels obey, men have the option of, let's say, be a renegade, to deny, to disobey, which means he can obey or disobey. He's got the option. This is what we are different from angels. So, فَلَمَّا أَنْبَأَهُمْ بِأَسْمَائِهِمْ قَالَ أَلَمْ أَقُلْ لَكُمْ إِنِّي أَعْلَمُ غَيْبَ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ. And when he had told them their names, he said, when Adam told the angels the names of these creatures, he said, God said I not to you that I know the unseen of the heavens and the earth? Didn't I tell you that I know everything, whatever you see and you don't see, whatever is obvious, whatever is hidden, whatever, all these things? وَأَعْلَمُ مَا تُبْدُونَ وَمَا كُنْتُمْ تَكْتُمُونَ. And I know what you reveal and what you conceal. The same thing. Whatever you hide, whatever you show, whatever is seen, whatever is unseen, I know everything. Okay. Now, after this test and the proof that man is better than the angels, God wanted another test. وَإِذْ قُلْنَا لِلْمَلَائِكَةِ اسْجُدُوا لِآدَمَ فَسَجَدُوا إِلَّا إِبْلِيسَ أَبَى وَاسْتَكْبَرَ وَكَانَ مِنَ الْكَافِرِينَ. So, and when we said to the angels, submit to Adam, then they submitted, save Iblis. He refused and was proud and was of those who spurn guidance while claiming virtue. The story here is, since God put mankind in a better position than the angels, he wanted the angels to like, if you want, to accept human superiority. How? By bowing to Adam. It's a sign showing that respect and showing that, okay, you are kind of better knowing than us, in a sense. So when God asked the angel to bow for Adam, they all bowed except Lucifer. We know who Lucifer is, Iblis in Arabic, probably not even an Arabic word. Why? Because because Lucifer is so proud and he thinks he's a better creature than angels and then Adam at the same time. Okay? And yet, I mean, by refusing, and he is, he's one of God's creatures, but all this is rhetoric and figurative. It's a story symbolizing, evil in this way, and we will see how the story goes on. And everybody knows it, the story of Adam and Eve and the paradise and the tree and all those things. So Adam was supposed to be a kind of, let's say, like the angel, believer, submitted to God's will, and all of a sudden now he decided not to. So he played two roles, being a believer on one side and being kind of denying this superiority that God asked him to submit himself to. وقلنا يا آدم اسكن أنت وزوجك الجنة وكلا منها رغدا حيث شئتما ولا تقربا هذه الشجرة فتكونا من الظالمين. Now the story that everybody knows, and we said, O Adam, dwell thou and thy wife in the garden. Go you and your wife in this garden and do what you like. And eat thereof freely whosoever you will, and whatever kind of fruits or anything edible, go ahead and eat it. But approach not this tree, but don't eat from this tree. Any tree. It's symbolized tree. Okay? For then will you be among the wrongdoers. Because if you do, you will be a bad guy. It's kind of a test, asking Adam to do everything but this. Now we know the story that Lucifer came and blah 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 in the ears of Adam, and Adam wanted to taste that tree, thinking that what Lucifer told him is true, which is he's going to live forever, to live in eternity. That is okay. We go on with the verses and the story. فأزلهما الشيطان عنها فأخرجهما مما كان فيه. But the shaitan, which is Lucifer in this case, or I rather call it, the little devil of ours in every person's head, back of the head. So caused them to fall therefrom. So, which means he asked them, or he solicited them to eat from that tree nevertheless. So he caused them degradation, caused them to fall therefrom. Is not in the sense of falling actually physically in this, but it's a degradation. As I said, this story is all what there is are symbols to understand something, obey the Lord, which is a guidance, which is for your own benefit, but if you don't, you have to suffer consequences. So he expelled them from what they were in. So God expelled Adam and his wife from the status they were in. Well, symbolically in paradise, they say, and we have this concept that paradise is above and earth is here, and then they fall from paradise to the earth, which is not the case. That's why I say it's symbolized. But actually, yes, we were degraded as humankind by this sin, what we call of Adam. وَقُلْنَا اهْبِطُوا بَعْضُكُمْ لِبَعْضٍ عَدُوٌّ وَلَكُمْ فِي الْأَرْضِ مُسْتَقَرٌّ وَمَتَاعٌ إِلَى حِينٍ. And we said, get you down. Down, as I said, it's not necessarily physical, but it's symbolic. Okay, in the sense, now you're not at this level of, let's say, valorization or respect or whatever. Now you are degraded to a lower level. That's it. An enemy to one another. And you will be kind of, you will have amongst yourselves animosity, which is the case, and we know, even if whenever it started, the story of Abel and Cain, and we all know it. We will see it later on. And for you, وَلَكُمْ فِي الْأَرْضِ مُسْتَقَرٌّ وَمَتَاعٌ إِلَى حِينٍ. And for you on the earth are place and goods for a time, which means you will have your time on this earth, and you will have whatever you need in the place that you will, you will have like home, something, and whatever you need to live for some time, which means for a certain time. It's not going to be forever, because the test was in paradise. Oh, Adam, you will live forever, or you will stay here forever in this paradise if you don't touch this tree. Now that you did eat from this tree, you lost this opportunity. So you go and live on the face of earth and have whatever you need, you find there, and it's going to be for a certain time, which means what we know now, every human person, every human creature, every creature even on the face of earth is dying, certainly. Sometime, that is. فَتَلَقَّى آدَمُ مِنْ رَبِّهِ كَلِمَاتٍ فَتَابَ عَلَيْهِ إِنَّهُ هُوَ التَّوَّابُ الرَّحِيمُ. Well, at the same time, of course, God is not, God wanted to be nevertheless soft on Adam. Then learned Adam words from his Lord, kind of tell him it's okay, don't worry, or something like that. And he turned towards him and kind of forgave him, which means, okay, you did the mistake, don't do other mistakes if you want to be compensated or, not to be again punished or something. He is the receptive, the merciful. Since God is really merciful and he accepts, he forgives and accepts repenting from us, from his creatures, of course he can accept, he did accept actually on this basis from Adam that he repented. قُلْنَا اهْبِطُوا مِنْهَا جَمِيعًا. We said, get you down from it all together. So this means that God chased Adam, Eve, and Satan, Lucifer, whatever. The two races of creatures, mankind and jinn, in the sense. Because later on we will find that Lucifer was not a real angel, he was a jinn, but he was amongst the angels with other jinns probably in that time when God put him to the test and asked him to bow to Adam. قُلْنَا اهْبِطُوا مِنْهَا جَمِيعًا. We said, get you down from it all together. فَإِمَّا يَأْتِيَنَّكُمْ مِنِّي هُدًى. If there comes to you guidance from me, فمن تبع هدايا فلا خوف عليهم ولا هم يحزنون. Then whoso follows my guidance, they need not fear, nor will they regret. Which means now you are going to have a different era or different life or something, okay? And whenever I send guidance to you, try to follow those guidance, okay? And if you do, then you will be compensated and you will be rewarded, and you won't regret it. والذين كفروا وكذبوا بآياتنا أولئك أصحاب النار هم فيها خالدون. But those who are indifferent to warning and repudiate our proofs, these are the companions of the fire, wherein they abide eternally. So, if you follow the guidance, you will be compensated, you will be happy, you will be back in paradise. This is the concept. But those who will disobey, will deny the guidance, and so on, and will not accept our signs and verses, okay, they will suffer in hellfire, and eternally, that is. I think this is about it for today. We're gonna stop here. We'll continue tomorrow. But I'm gonna repeat in brief something about this story, which I consider the story of Adam and how he learned from God, or how God transmitted, if you want, the knowledge to Adam and started to be the human that evolved over the course of time, centuries and centuries and centuries. So, and this example of Adam that I know of was the reason of conversion of some scientists. Why? Because this scientist realized that this is really the key of knowledge that we do acquire now, of course, after being developed over the centuries, and without which we would have remained, like beasts and animals, and even on four legs. So God did, in other verses, say in Arabic, وَنَفَخْنَا فِيهِ مِنْ رُوحِنَا, which means we blew in Adam from our ruh. Ruh means, if you want to be, if you want to have the reasonable meaning of ruh, it means knowledge. Why? Because this is what it means when God taught Adam the names of all things and the stuff. So he interpreted it like this. He blew into Adam this knowledge so he could learn, so he could have guessed what it is, and so on. Otherwise, and without which, Adam would have remained like a beast, as I said. Okay, we stop right here. As I said, I hope that you enjoyed this reading and that you got somehow, I should say, a better understanding. And I do appreciate your joining and listening. Thank you, and see you tomorrow, inshallah.